The first thing that hits you about Vader Immortal Episode 1 is the incredible audio. This game / experience from ILM X Labs for the Oculus Rift and Oculus Quest is just a tour de force in audio design. It really evokes all of the Star Wars lore that you've seen through your lives and is echoing inside of your mind. They've done an incredible job of sort of placing exact sounds and exact sort of music cues in places that are 360 degrees around your mind and around your ears, and it's just incredible.
You may wonder why I have brought you here. You are required to perform one simple task.
I played this on the Quest when I got the launch Quest, and it took me a little while to get to it because of all the other things that I got to juggle, but it is one of those experiences where you sit down, well, you don't sit, you stand. It's a full 360-degree immersion into a Star Wars world, but it's not just a game, it's much more experiential. It's much more about twisting things and, you know, operating a spaceship knob and lifting up little models and unlocking panels on doors and things like that. You actually do a little bit of climbing and clambering, and of course you do a lot of lightsaber battles. And the lightsaber battles force you to look around in every direction, and you might have enemies attack you, and you've got to figure out how, you know, the best way to kind of position your lightsaber and to handle exactly when to block and strike back. Of course, you fight stormtroopers and you're able to blast back some of their blaster fire, which is always cool. It's cool that Maya Rudolph is in this game. She plays your buddy's sidekick robot, and she's got, you know, a few wisecracks and stuff.
I don't want to ask, but where have you been hiding that?
She's kind of chameleon-like. You don't really know that it's Maya Rudolph until the credits roll. And of course, you are going to encounter Darth Vader. Now, you don't fight Darth Vader. You're just sort of getting into the mystery that is about this Vader Immortal storyline. You've been sucked into Vader's castle on Mustafar, and you're in the bowels of the castle, and you're scouring around trying not to get discovered, and eventually, of course, you do.
You've caused us considerable inconvenience, smuggler.
It didn't look incredibly beautiful on the Oculus Quest. It was more, you know, it was a little bit of a lower poly kind of experience. There wasn't tons of great texture detail on all the stuff that you're looking at. We've seen Star Wars rendered more beautifically, but Star Wars hasn't wrapped around our head quite so effectively. I haven't played it on the Rift, which this recently became available for, so I would imagine that it's a much more refined experience on the Rift or the Rift S, and I will definitely go back and check that out. And I'm also eagerly anticipating future episodes.
Oh, just a moment. Sorry, we're having...
I do think that this was released a little bit too soon. I feel like they should have done the whole thing. I think it should have just been Vader Immortal. They've got a couple more episodes coming. It doesn't cost you very much to jump in and get this experience, and I recognize how important it was to launch Oculus Quest with the Star Wars license, and in fact, I applaud that. I think that VR companies should work their butts off to partner with Disney and ILM and figure out whenever they're launching new products on a regular cycle, honestly, because Star Wars is so intrinsically perfect in terms of fit for VR in a multitude of different ways, AR as well.
This is the one I've been searching for.
And it's such a massive mega brand that it just brings people to it, you know? They can create huge installations of letting people walk through Star Wars in VR. So selling home products without Star Wars seems like a real missed opportunity. And yes, that is my, I think my 766,000th plea for somebody to make an X-Wing VR experience. That's not what you get here. This is much more kind of a touchy-feely, you're dropped inside of a Star Wars world, you get to hear Darth Vader's breathing on the back of your neck, and you turn around and he's huge and he scares the crap out of you, and then you get some training missions which get harder and harder, and the droids all come at you from every different direction and you're blasting everywhere. The more frantic you get, and you will get frantic because you're excited that you're in the Star Wars lore and it's so effectively packaged. Even in the lower resolution of the Oculus Quest, it still is a sight to see. It's still an experience to behold. It's still like, wow, they dropped me into a Star Wars movie, which is incredible. But you still get into it so much that you're going to crack through that Guardian and you're going to go through the space. And I would imagine on the regular Rifts, you're going to get tangled up in your cord, which seems to happen with the most exciting Rift and Vive experiences because they are tethered to the machines. You do sometimes get caught up in it. And that's why Quest is such a great progression for VR as a medium, and it's a good fit. So if you've got a Quest already, or you're thinking of picking up one, or you've got the Rifts, I would make Vader Immortal Episode 1 something to put on your shopping list.
I will send for you shortly.
But I do wish that all of it was there. I do wish that they had the full fleshed out. I'm excited to see where ILM X Labs takes this. I definitely do want to get into a lightsaber battle with Darth Vader. I like Vader Immortal quite a bit. It's exciting to see where partnerships like that can take us. More Star Wars, please, in VR. Maybe take a look at Blade Runner. Marvel's got a whole bunch of stuff you might want to look at too. I'm going to give Vader Immortal Episode 1 a 7.5 out of 10.